Oh, glad to get a victory. There were a lot of things in the first half. First of all, just what a beautiful day it was to start the afternoon. I can't believe what it turned into there with the weather. But in the first half, obviously having a big lead and it gave us the breathing room to be able to get a lot of the guys that were out there dressed out that don't typically get a lot of time to be able to get some time in the game. So that was positive. But there's a lot of things in the first half that I felt like we could have been doing better. And we talked about that at halftime, and it just more about the standard of the way we play and all that. So some things to work on, but certainly college football games are hard to win. And I'm glad we won that one. I'm proud of our guys for getting bowl eligible and having that opportunity to play in the postseason, which is one of the great rewards of playing college football.
Ken Kreitzer.
Coach, congratulations. Maybe to start by saying, to take us through, you got 6 quarterbacks in the game, I think it was, and certainly Christian got off to a good start. Tyree and Jabari got the touchdown pass. And then Kate Ballard led 2 drives for 80 and 97 yards. That's a lot of good quarterback play today.
It was. We were glad to get those guys in there. And Coach Worley said at halftime, just like to get all those guys a chance to take some reps. And so I was glad to see him get in there. I thought those guys performed well. They took care of the ball. We had a couple misreads, but just having the experience of getting in there and doing that, I thought was certainly positive. Tyre got the bulk of it at the beginning, and then be able to get Jabari in there. He just continues to play better and better the more he gets in there.
And just what was it like for you to plan the second half when you were able to get a lot of players into the game? How was that for you? And what did you work on at halftime? You had about 45 minutes there. We
just talked about assignments and what we had been seeing in the first half and what we might see when we went back out there, and really getting, especially those young guys, coached up to be prepared for it. So the older guys were able to kind of interject and talk about the things they were seeing and splits and those kinds of things, and then get some special teams things that we had done in the first half that they were giving us some different looks with their punt protections than we had prepared for, and so we were able to talk about those, and thought the guys did a good job handling that time.
Just one thought about it. Andre Carter had another strong game with the interception and a sack. It just seems like he's emerging more and more every game. What did you see from Andre today?
He's a really good player, obviously. I mean, he's one of the nation's sack leaders, and to get the interception today, it was a heads-up play, and so just a really good player. Glad we got him on our team.
Joe Iacono.
Good afternoon, Coach. Congratulations on today's win. This was the second game this season where you had the opportunity to play a lot of your players who don't get to see a lot of playing time in the games, but work really hard in practice all year. Even some seniors who may not have seen a lot of time. Markins Pierre scored his first touchdown. How satisfying is that for you as a coach to see guys who've committed to the program for 4 years or maybe a couple of years and just worked really hard in practice and finally get to see it pay off on game day?
I'm particularly happy for Markins because he's a senior and he has worked so hard. He's invested so much in this program. It's great to see him get that reward and celebrate with his teammates. His teammates were as excited as he was. And then for everybody else, just the young guys that got some significant reps today. Obviously, we'll be counting on them next year and the years to follow. And for them to get those reps is really important. One, so they can get coached and corrected, but two, when it really counts and they're in games in weeks or years to come, that there's not those first game jitters that they've been in a football game and had a chance to play. So it's important for a lot of reasons.
And throughout the week, really, you had talked about that your goal as a team was just to be playing your best ball and to make constant improvement. And I know you mentioned, with the first unit in the first half, that there were definitely some things you could work on. Anything in particular that you guys want to focus on this week that you saw today that needs some improvement?
I mean, just fundamental things. You know, we got a kid I think is pretty dynamic with the ball, and Tyrell Robinson, and he caught a punt return, and we had a wall set up for him, and we didn't do a very good job of taking care of the blocks along the wall. We had 4 guys run for a touchdown without the ball, and the only guy with the ball got tackled, and we really probably could have scored on that punt return. We went after some punts and didn't get home on any of them. They did a really good job of protecting us. So just finding a way to get guys to beat blocks and get there into the backfield. I thought there at the end we did a poor job with the fundamentals of kick return. We obviously dropping the one ball at the 3-yard line on a fair catch, but the one that we muffed, we backed up for it, and then we let it hit us and went in the end zone, and then we returned it out of the end zone, which you don't have to do, and then fumbled it. So some things like that will be good lessons for everybody on our team. Now, offensively, we threw the ball some early in the game, and it just seemed like every other time we threw it that he had guys in his face, and Christian Anderson got hit on the leg on one of them. We got to be able to protect and allow those guys to throw the ball. And people are going to line up and play the run against us. So when we do throw it, we should be able, for as many guys as we keep in protection, to be able to do that effectively. So that's got to improve. They hit some passes on us and found some holes. And certainly, we're going to play some teams here in the next couple of weeks that are going to chunk it around, and we're going to have to play really great pass defense on the back end as well as get pass rush. So we got there a couple of times and got them sacked, which was great. Our guys did deny some passes, and that was positive. But I guess every play, I'm not satisfied if they gain a single yard, and I'm not satisfied unless we're moving the ball for significant yards every play. I want us to perform at a really high level, and I know our guys do too. So we'll look at the film, we'll get some corrections made, and we'll work on some things tomorrow.
And then my last question, Coach. First time we've had the opportunity to see Jamel Jones, I think, since the Ball State game. He looked pretty good out there. His health pretty good, seems to be, but just how's he doing?
He looked good. He looked good on that run down the sideline, better than I anticipated he would. He had been hurt and just took a while for him to get healthy. So that was positive. He had one read there. We were running midline, and he knew he should have pulled it. He might have popped out of there, but I thought he ran the ball really hard and did a good job.
Thank you, Coach.
Ken McMillan.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Any other questions for Coach?
Coach, I just was going to ask about Tyson Riley. Had 70 yards on 10 carries and a touchdown. How important is it for him to have a big day like that?
I was so glad to see him back in there. He started the season as our starter, and got hurt in the first game, and then has really struggled with that injury all year. He's finally feeling better, and he's not 100% yet. But he sure ran the ball hard, and he broke tackles today, and I was just glad to see him back in there, and that'll give him some confidence, and certainly gives us confidence in him.
Coach, you had 428 yards rushing today. Tell us a little bit about the play of your offensive line that generated that.
Well, I thought those guys did a good job opening up some gaps, and they did a good job. They were moving the defense, and our run game is not just those offensive linemen. It's the receivers and the tight ends, the slots, and the B-backs, and everybody gets involved. And I thought they did a good job. We had very few plays where we didn't get 3 or 4 or 5 yards, and so it was a good day running the football for sure.
Just did you feel like the team came through the game healthy?
We did. I went to the I always go to the training room before I come up here to the press conference, and I talked to our trainers, and they felt like we we're in pretty good shape. We didn't have anybody come out of the game. Christian limped out there. He just got hit on the shin, so it wasn't anything serious. But we held him out after that. There wasn't any reason to put him back in. And we had a few guys, hobble off and that kind of thing. But everybody seems to be in pretty good shape, which is great.
Sal, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Sorry if I missed this, but can you talk about how Ajan performed today, his blocking and then catching the football, and what you see potentially for him?
It's great to see Ajan out there. And he's a good athlete. He's a tough kid. He plays physical. Thrilled for him to get that touchdown catch. And the more he plays, the better he's going to get. So obviously we didn't have him early in the year, and I'm glad to have him back out there and get him in the mix. And it takes some off of those other guys like Brandon and T-Rob that are playing so much. So it's really good to have him as a fifth guy in the mix there.